LaPhonso, I want to kind of start with this because live in Missouri, cover the Missouri Tigers on a daily basis. Of course, we're talking about a team that's not going to be dancing, but one that is looking for a head coach. Obviously, you come from East St. Louis, where Cuonzo Martin is from. Kind of have a tie there. Missouri decides to part ways after 5 seasons. Just kind of want to get your thoughts on Missouri's decision to go in another direction and maybe where they're going to go from here. I mean, names kind of thrown around like a Matt McMahon, a Todd Golden. These are all teams in the tournament, or even kind of an interesting name, Kim English, former Mizzou alum, and he's a kind of a rising star. What do you kind of make of the whole Missouri situation right now?
Yeah, it was an interesting one. Obviously, Cuonzo Martin got them to the NCAA tournament a couple of years ago, and unfortunately, he's had a lot of injuries. And then this year, he brought 9 new guys in, and it was very difficult to kind of gel. And many teams throughout the country who've used the transfer portal to get guys, it took them a while to get going. And unfortunately, that never happened with any consistency. With Missouri, I was sad to see Cuonzo let go. He was my high school teammate. We won a state championship together. He's a wonderful family guy, excellent recruiter, really good with young people and their development. Having said that, I like Matt McMahon. I mean, he's right there kind of in that Southern Midwest belt. He's demonstrated his ability to be able to recruit at his level. I mean, you don't go get a guy like John Moran. I know he wasn't on everyone's radar, not a top 25 player in the country, et cetera, but clearly he has an eye for talent. And if you look at the team even that he has this year, KJ Williams is just an absolute monster on the interior for them. I love the style in which they play. They can play at warp speed. They can play in the half court. He seems to have a really good connection. And when you have a transcendent player that's come through your program and is considered one of the top 10 players in the NBA currently, that can't help but help you with recruiting. And so I like Matt McMahon because geographically, I think it's a really good fit.
Well, we're talking to ESPN's LaPhonso Ellis. Cuonzo is probably as well as anyone. To me, I think you saw 2 things happen so far, this offseason for these teams. Nice guys that schools decided to part ways with that are doing it the right way. That's Bruce Weber and Cuonzo Martin. Do you think that there's something to the any truth to that? This is just that these new college basketball waters infested with the NIL and transfer portal and things like that. That some of these coaches just don't want to play this game. I mean, is there anything to that, or do you think Cuonzo really was ready to dig in and take this thing to the long haul, or do you think some of these coaches are just really this is a tough area for them and they're not sure how to quite navigate this just yet?
Yeah, I think in that it's not really just the coaches. Of course, it's the entire athletic administration. Are they buying in with the whole NIL deal? And so you talk about 2 really good coaches, and you talk about the waters. Well, it's changed tremendously. 15 years ago, maybe even going back to my day, I played at Notre Dame from 88 through 92. Coaches who were had great character, who were developing and graduating their players. That was the standard, and you were generally given a little breathing room if you had 2 consecutive, what would be considered poor seasons where you didn't get to the NCAA tournament. And the fact that you were doing the aforementioned developing and graduating young men who are going out in the world and doing some really cool things, that's out of the window now. It's win now or else. And I think you've seen that with Bruce Weber and Cuonzo Martin, 2 really, really good guys who've done those 2 things that I just spoke of.